Hello everybody, welcome back. And as you can see, Discord overlay, I really need to disable that because it irritates me. I got a comment on my last video about the fireplace. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. And I mentioned that we were getting a lot of shine. Can you see that? From the back of the fireplace. It literally shines through the bricks here, which is irritating. But you know what? I built a little room with all the geysers and the fuse boxes and shelving, and we even have washers and dryers in here as a little room for everybody, and that has closed it off a bit. So and yes, I did put the wood fireplace. Let's just go down here and have the log fireplaces in here, as you can see, and I've pushed it down into the you can see we've got no bricks there. Hold on, let's copy that and put some foundation in here. Can we? We can't really. Oh, we're in the middle of the wall. Okay, don't worry about it. We're in the middle of the wall. We have foundation there. Okay. So I put the logs in, and as I say, it shines through, but it does look so much better. So yes, you're right. You know what I mean. So I've done that, and then I think I'm just going to put a plant here, and then nobody will even notice. You can see, there we go, just done that now. I think let me get, I think something like this should be enough just to pull a focus away from that. You can still see it. If you pull the focus away, nobody will notice, unless we point it out to them, which we have done, but don't tell anybody. Maybe this. Let's see what that looks like. I have got high ceilings in here, so that might work. And then if your eye is up there, you're not seeing that line of orange on the floor. Maybe something like that. Okay, I will take that and land. All right, I also was in two minds about whether I should actually do all 4 elements in here, and I haven't. I have put a roof on now. This is what the front so far looks like. I haven't completed it, and the back is still unfinished, but this is pretty much our entrance on our semi-detached houses. I think they're looking pretty good. So let's go in, put our feet on the floor, and you'll see I had finished this in the last video. We'd finished the study. I did a little bit in the bathroom. I was playing with this, and I don't know if I like it. I think I'm going to give it a little nudge into the wall so it's not so prominent. So you still have the feel of it, but it's not. That's better. Not sticking out so far to irritate. And I enjoy playing with patterns, so that actually gives an interesting pattern on the wall. I will take that, and let's just move that a little bit further in. Better. And then now the toilet will no, it won't sit close enough yet. It might sit a little bit close. Maybe that'll do. So this is where we are with the bathroom at the moment. We've got a bath, we've got a basin, and I just want to find an interesting mirror to put on the wall. And then it's literally a case of we're going to go and play in the main big bedroom. Wow. I like that. I just don't like that. So maybe this one. I think if I'm not mistaken, I used that. Quite like that. That blends with that, but that looks also pretty good. And it brings this color in from there. I think that will do for us. Oh, I hate when I do that and then you can't change it back. You have to redo it. There we go. Stop pushing the Z button or the Z button, depending where you live. So I will put a couple of odds and ends on the counters, but this is going to be mostly the guest bathroom. So I'm thinking of this. We can probably get away with, okay, that is that. And we can go with wood for this if we so want. Maybe keep it in that color. Bad. Let's see. I'll just copy that color eventually. Let's get the toilet roll. I actually am going a little fancy in here with the toilet rolls and everything. I think that will look quite pretty. And then the towel rack, here it is. I'm going to throw it high on the wall, and I'm going to put one next to the basin as well, because there we go, that looks better, not as intense. Also, this is probably going to bug the towel. What else do we need? Some lotion, some hand cream. I would say, wouldn't mind a pot of something. Let's go with something like that. Let's see. We're going to just make it look pretty. Where's that perfume? Yeah, perfume. I think we have a blue one here. That's nice. And then we can put some towels. Now, small towel for a hand towel, and yes, I'm boring. We go white. I like white towels. So that is going to eventually be the hand towel. And this can be the bath towel because it's bigger. Yeah. You can see the size difference. Okay, you will fit there nicely. And let's throw you over here some way. Damn it. I am definitely don't have my hands on the keyboard properly today. That looks okay to me. Now I'm going to show you the blind that I put in the other bathroom. It's a mission to put that blind in the bathroom, but it really looks pretty. I think let's do this. We can pop that there. And do we want... it's a guest bathroom. I'm sure we will supply them with other towels and stuff, but let's throw a couple of towels in here. Just because we can. There we go. And we need a toilet roll. Don't forget the toilet roll. Okay, quite pretty. That blue is very intense. Can we change that blue? Yes, we can. Let's go with that instead. That's not jumping out now. And I would like to put something in here. Let's see what we want to put in here. I wouldn't mind something tall. How big are you? You could go there. And then we need very simple. Wow, that's big. That size? Will it? It's still quite big. Don't need anything that tall. Let's nice. Okay. I can live with that, and then we just need some lights. Now, what am I using for light switches these days? Okay, that one will work. Oh, yeah. That one. I can live with that. And I think some wall lights will look pretty anyhow. I'm leaning towards either that or these. These are much more subtle, but even those would be quite pretty, although they're not very bright. No, I'm sure those aren't lined up, but that's... We'll do that shortly. I actually didn't do that too badly. Almost. Easiest way to do this, just tweak it there. That's nice and calming and relaxing. Doesn't really do much for the bath area. How about we put a hanging light there? Maybe something like this. Round one. That works for me. And of course we need a carpet. And yes, we're going boring. I'm terribly boring. We will go light grey because this never is white. But that'll work. Okay. And then the only thing we need is something on the walls. Now we have pictures. If we use two, that might be a bit chunky. So let's use this thinner frame. I really don't want to put the seashells on the wall in here. That might work quite nicely. We shrink it down a little bit. Damn. Hate when it doesn't quite connect to the frame on the sides. Let's... There we go. Is that too yellow, do you think? I like it. I'm gonna keep it. Okay. And that's literally the first picture that hasn't just got sea, but with the reflections there, I'm thinking that's water, and it is what it is. So, the fire is roaring in the fireplace there. Okay, now into the bedroom. Now, this is the final room in the house, and the bathroom is a fairly intense blue and grey. So I was thinking this picture has got some really intense blues, but then it also has this very soft, almost, what colour is that again? Indigo, that's the colour. So, and that leans very much towards the greys. So I was thinking we can either literally play with that or introduce this colour in and use the indigos with it. Let's just change this from tile to, you know what I've been playing with? I've been playing with this on the wall. The knitted fabric. Look how dark that is. Isn't that cool? Then if we go with that, it lightens it up. You can see the difference in tone, which I think is pretty dang cool. And then if we take that same color and we put it into the paint, it's lighter still. So, but I think that's too dark for this room. I'm leaning towards this. This is much lighter and softer. Maybe let's play with this color on the wall and see what it looks like. That is soft. I mean, that's happy dreams right there. And we could probably take it. Let's see, that's the indigo in a more Ooh. Oh, look at that color on the wall. Okay, that's like almost like, no. That is a little too intense for me. Again, I'm not fond of that. It doesn't have enough of the grey in it. I'm actually preferring these colors here. All right, let's go back to that. I'm going to do the majority of the room in this color. And that's very soft. Just looking to see if I want to go lighter or darker. That's violet. That's almost grey. Okay, I'm going to take, oopsie. It's quite interesting. It's almost like a stormy night. I like that. What do you think of that? I'm going to go with it. Let's find us a bed. Now, definitely double bed. We used no. Maybe possibly. See what that looks like in a grey. Wow. Okay, let's see if we go with that and then go to a grey. What color does it end up? We can't see yet. All right. Okay, that's literally the color of the floor, which isn't bad. I think we need to go slightly darker. Or is that too dark? Let's put my flashlight on. Okay, let's look at the duvet. Are we wanting to go? Let's go white for now. On that, and then our duvet. Let's look at its stuff. We've got this, which is an interesting choice. If we go, okay, here's our indigo. How about if we go with something like that? I'm looking at the picture behind us on the wall. That could be interesting. Okay, what would we do with the pillows then? I believe we would go that color. This looks very drab, this wood. Yes, I'm playing with wood. Doesn't have a glow to it. What happens if we went from ash? Okay, or a slight hint of, that's too dark. That's also too dark. That could be fun. Let's see what we can do with it. Let's in the meantime make this picture slightly bigger. I think it needs to be bigger. Take my light off. It needs something in here. Let's find furniture first, and then we can, wow, I'm talking and I'm not going to find any furniture. What have we got in this range? Okay, that's boring. Yeah, no. Okay, scrap that idea. Something a little bit more creative. Either that is what we get with the bed. Well, part of the set. Don't know if I want that there. Okay, call me crazy. Just hang on there. Do you see my circles coming into it again? Okay, let's see what that looks like. It actually works quite well. Oh man, I want you. Now we can do one of two things. I can put something across here, and I can put a TV in here, or we can leave this just as a bedroom. Perhaps put a small sofa across the end of the bed. I think we have a tiny one. I think that's the small one. No. Maybe something like that. Here's where I get a little kooky. Just hear me out here. Okay. Let's take that and put it on there so we get the same color wood. And then that's not going to work. That sort of peachy color might work as a plant or something, but I don't think it'll work as furniture. I think that's quite pretty. Let's think of lights. Now we've got our light switch. So let's look at lights. So either bedside lights like these. I really am drawn immediately to those, but we have used them. So that's a bit too square. I think this will work nicely. We go with the ash on the base. Should we do plain white? Hate that. Let's see what that looks like. Not bad. Something. Now these we are not going to find the peachy colors that we're looking for unless we go for that, but that is only in pink, literally. We could go for the orange. Oh, that. No, too dark. Okay. Now these you can get in a really pretty peach. That pops. We could do that. Yes, I know I need to get a... But that just sort of brings a pop of colour in. Sticking with what we are playing with here, let's look at that. I think that needs to be bumped down, don't you think? And I don't know why, but I'm thinking of a grey. That actually works nicely with the sky there. Do we want a smaller one? We don't really have... Oh, we've got this one. That works. Yes, it's asymmetrical. That's the way I like it. Okay, I'm going to say yes to that. I really like that a lot. And now, this can pretty much go over there for now. I'm thinking of keeping it somewhere in the room, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what we... I don't want to go for like the fancy circular style other stuff in here. I want something like that. That to me is just a little too much. I'm thinking of something very simple. Literally simple. That's simple. So simple, I don't know which is the front and which is the back now. That works for me. So, let's see. Let's take that and put it on there, and you can't see a difference because there is no difference. Base. Okay, so what happens if we take that no, that's too no. Yeah. I think I can live with that. Now the question here is, are we going to put blinds on this window or are we going to put curtains? Now for the curtains, I'm thinking of this dark. Let's look at curtains, shall we? So, how tall do I want them? Do I want them that tall? Is that going to be enough? I think that will be enough. We just have to make them the same length. No, not you, you. Then it gets just an extra little itty bit of added oomph. Okay, let's take you. I think that'll work. And because of the light furniture, that'll work. Okay. I want to just center this a little bit. And we can play, we can have some fun with this. We can put a sofa in here, but let's just play with curtains for now. Let's see what we have to play with. That's not going to be wide enough. Or we can just tuck another one in there. Yeah, we're going to need more. Okay, let's see what we have to work. Okay, move. Better. You are super long, aren't you? Oops. Can get you all in the right length shortly. Of course you won't fit there, because why would you? I just wish these curtains came without the rails, because then at least we could add extra volume without multiple curtain rails. I think that works. It looks a little wonky, I will not lie to you, and it's because they aren't quite lined up. But what we can do is probably resize them all so they look like they're almost on the floor. One's good. So they give a bit more volume at the bottom there. It'll be okay. Alright, so we've got this. I think I would like a medium chest. Again, I don't want anything too fussy, but that's not really a bedroom chest. That's tiny. Very heavy. Okay. Again, I'm trying to go for simple. You just go for simple. We take the handles off, it helps. That will fit behind the door very nice. It does lighten up there. Do want okay, so that would tie into that, and that looks quite nice actually. Something different. And then we can put a mirror here. It's huge. We want such a big mirror. No, it just looks too clunky. Smaller. Oh, I can't change that to a dang it. This one I wish I had more options. Okay. Breathe. No. That's bigger again. Should we go for the oval? The oval mirror is so small. It'll work. Alright, if we go for the base in that and then go grey, we'll work with colours we put here. Sure, let's do that. It's not enough though. So do we put a full-length mirror? Here's my favorite mirror. There it is. Actually, that might. That'll work. And it blends with the wall. It doesn't get over enthusiastic about anything. And we can probably put a little plant of some description there. Let's see what we have here. Perhaps an orchid? Oh, again, hitting keys. That's fun. Come on. All right, what are we going to do in the rest of the room for the walls? I'm still in two minds about the color of this furniture. It looks really pretty on this wall, but here it's too bright. If I take it to that, it would blend. It would disappear into the background. So it wouldn't be so in your face. I actually quite like that. I wouldn't mind. You can see we've got this, just the edging there, which is fine. That's a nod to that color. But I wouldn't mind putting more storage, more. None of those work. Let's go for I think that's the same color. We could always introduce that. Oh, lost. How many of you will fit up there? It looks terrible. Okay. It will look good in a kid's room, but definitely not in an adult's room. Unless we if it fitted exactly, do you see what I mean by exactly? So if I put 2 here, it doesn't line up with this. So scrap that idea. Damn it. I really don't feel like building a whole thing. Okay. I would like to put something here, almost a screen, so that if someone's here chatting, someone can still be getting dressed. But I have done this thing pretty much to death now, and I would like something else. We have these wall panels. Play with the wall panel. Now that color works quite nicely in the room. We take that. Would we go wood? this is going to be a job and a half. If we do it the regular way. So you go stand over there. Let's see. Do we want this to have a TV on top? See, we can spin it either way. That'll teach me to have precise placement on still. Do we want something like this? Okay, let's that. Come on, come on. Thank you. We do use a wall there. We need one more of those. Am I correct? Yeah. This is basically what fine, stay there. I'll move you my own self. This is basically a play on these things on a board. So it's not like it's anything new or innovative. Yeah, I don't. Alright, let's just build this up. To there. It's interesting. It's different. It can be used without the wall if we go that far. So let's take that out. Move these all down. And let's take the wall away. See what happens. So that does give us a screen. I'm going to play with it a bit more. I'm happy with this area, well, except for that. We need to find something to put on this wall, and then I will leave it for now. Do we want wall decor or do we want a picture? Nothing that leaps out and just goes, pick me, pick me. So let's go for a picture. I'm thinking let's go for a grey, and this is gonna take, well, let's see what we've got here. Maybe something fairly something new and slightly different. That would work. Just put some lightness in the wall. And then over here, I'm thinking of a chair or a couple of chairs and a small table. But I'm not sure which chairs. It would have to be something fairly simple because we've got a lot going on here. Something like that. We could go with a very light yes, I know that colour is not working, but let's play with that. It's not going to be dark enough. How about you? No, that's terrible. No. Again, I'm leaning towards the just as like blue. Maybe a little table. On a small table. Let me know what you think of that colour. Now, maybe carry that through to there. I quite like that. Call me crazy. And then instead of putting a huge carpet down, we can maybe play with something like this. No fringe. Something simple. It's not very small, it's way bigger than I anticipated. No. I was thinking something smaller. How big are you? Yes, you're the right size. Maybe a lighter color. I don't know, call me crazy. Let me know what you think of the chairs. I'm going to mess with this. I might just put a bookcase here because we've got bookcases. We've got these. We could just use something like that. that instead, which will still give us a view. You see, I said I was finished, but I'm not. You would still be able to see through it, but you could put all kinds of interesting stuff on there. Or use something a little bit more industrial. How wide is that? About the same width. Maybe. That enough. Again, not 100% sure. But we are getting there. I think what I'll do is I will... Hey, let's use these. Let's use these. Can we use these for the... Yeah. I'll worry about pulling it down at a later stage, and then we can use that one when... Yeah. Hello, can I please copy that? Thank you. That works. I can live with that. And again, moving the circle theme through here. How about we... No, wrong utensil. Don't want to move it, want to resize this right down. I can pop it here. Just as a reference. And if I do this and I try and walk through the door now, it's going to block me. Don't you hate that? Yeah, okay. Get rid of it. And we've got it somewhere. Yeah, I haven't opened my personal pictures today yet, so I'm going to play with bookshelf idea or some form of screen here, so that whoever's sitting here chatting is slightly closed off from there. And then I'll bring you guys back next time, show you what I've done with the bedroom, and you can let me know. But in the meantime, let me know what you think of this color. I think it just sort of brings a pop into the room that the room needed. So I'm going to leave it here. My hands are off the keyboard. And I will see you guys next week, early next week. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Hope you have a lovely weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.